Hello, Sara here with Love Holistic Living and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you the correlations between doshas and their emotions and how you can learn about yourself once you know your mind body constitution and understand what you are more prone to and realize you can totally balance that out. So let's get started, and if you stick with me until the end, I'm actually going to answer a very important questions, which is how do the three different doshas, the three different energy, the Vata, Pitta and Kapha, respond to fear, because each of them responds to fear or any other emotions, but today I'm going to talk about fear in a different way. So stay with me until the end to discover that. In the meantime, before I start, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything, and like this video if you enjoyed it, and let's dive into it. I want to start with sharing a little bit of my perspective. So first of all, I want to share that I am an absolute believer of body, mind, and soul connection. And if you've watched my videos and you have worked with me, or you kind of get a feeling that I'm all about the mind-body connection, what that means is I believe that if you have an improper diet, that affects your not only your physical body but also your emotional body and vice versa. And it's based upon the principles of ayurveda. And what that means is if you have an improper digestive system, an improper agni or digestive fire, so if you don't digest food well, you're going to gain weight, and then it's the cause of the disease. Okay, in the physical form, like arthritis, I'm gonna just name a few, one, Alzheimer, I don't know, high blood pressure, ulcerative colitis, they all start in the gut. They all start with the improper function of the digestive area, okay? But what I agree with Ayurveda, and I think if you're in this journey, you might agree too, that unresolved emotions lead to the, how do I properly say this? The disease of the soul, and also an imbalance of state of the mind. What does this tell you is that we digest emotions as well. And if we don't take care of that, that's going to cause some kind of energetic issues or disease that will manifest eventually in the physical form, but they start with an energetic cause. And I work on myself all the time because I've had that, and I don't want that to repeat. I was borderline diagnosed with a autoimmune disease, and I reversed that before it was too late because my soul was kind of screaming at me. I mean, I'm not going to get into that right now, but that's, I would say, my introduction to this. Okay, let's dive right into it. The doshas, so there's three energies that we all have: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And this is more an advanced video, so if you're not familiar, then watch other videos that will share with you more about the basic foundations of what you need to know about the doshas. But I want to talk about the emotions. So a Vata, okay, we all know that Vata is the energy of the wind, and it's all free-flowing and very mobile. So it loves freedom, okay? Vata is very unattached and free. And it's beautiful in that way, and it's very creative. But what you're more prone to, if this energy gets elevated, you're more prone to experience anxiety, fear, that can lead to panic attacks, and anything that stems from fear. Okay, so anxiety, it's kind of like the extension of fear. Panic attacks, they all start with some kind of fear-based thoughts. That's more a Vata energy. And so I want you to pay attention whenever you're feeling all of this feeling of feeling ungrounded, feeling like you are in a tornado and you're just not accomplishing anything, or you're in a room with people and you're picking up about all of these energies. Well, you need to know that that's part of the Vata, and sometimes you might absorb energies that might not be even yours. So you come home and you're feeling all of this anxiety about what's going on, and you're like, well, I was peaceful an hour ago, what's happening? Well, that's kind of like the Vata cycle. So Vata, you just need to remember anxiety and fear. That's more prone to show up because the Vata energy, so this energy governs the nervous system, anything that has to do with the nervous system. So, okay, let's dive into the Pitta energy. So Pitta, is fire, and these people, it's very much, it governs the transformational processes that happen in your body, as well as metabolic functions. But let's talk in the mind, the logical side of the brain. And Pitta can be very goal driven, right? Very like determined, and all this beautiful quality of a great achiever and organizer. But when unbalanced, when this energy gets too elevated, then you are more prone to feel irritable, angry, resentment, jealousy, frustration. So anything actually that's connected to anger, anything that stems from anger, that's more of the Pitta energy. So if you're feeling like that regularly, then you need to know, oh my God, like my Pitta is elevated and I need to cool myself down. We talk about this all the time, opposite balance. Balance the energy. If you increase like. There's always that golden rule. But that's all I need. What I want you to know, actually. Just remember, Pitta is more connected with anger, frustration, jealousy, criticism. When you're constantly judging, or you're constantly criticizing, you're feeling really angry and frustrated at work. Well, that's the Pitta energy. Okay, let's dive into the Kapha energy. As you know, Kapha is predominantly earth energy. That means that it's very grounding energy, very solid. These people are super compassionate, like they're the Buddha usually, like very like when balanced, they are super compassionate, super Buddha energy. That's how I like to call them. And it's super grounding for me because I'm more a Vata Pitta. But when Kapha gets elevated, okay, you need to know that you might be more prone to experience attachment to things or emotions or people. So you're more likely to be attached, less likely to change a situation that you're in because you like the comfort zone. So more attachment. It's more likely for Kapha to experience depression, so great sadness, grief. And they get stuck in that for a long, long time because they don't like to get out of the comfort zone, so it takes them a little bit longer. They tend maybe to feel a little bit more like lazy if this energy is not constantly moved, or if lack of motivation, things like that. But what I want you to get is literally what a Kapha tends to, if you look at the body type of Kapha, tends to hold on to weight more easily than the other two. And energetically, because it tends to hold on to emotions longer. So for example, for a Kapha going through a grief period of time, changing the house, changing location, changing your office, losing a job, you're going to feel it a lot more, and you're going to sit in it longer than a Pitta who's goal driven. It's going to be like, okay, we're going to do this and I have a plan. And a Vata, that's kind of like more prone to change. Vata, it's more like, let's change it up, not a big deal, right? So, and that's why I see a lot more of holding on to things even in the body if someone is already predominantly Kapha. Okay, so that's what I want you to remember about the three energies and their emotions. But let's dive into how the doshas respond to fear. And Vata responds to fear by worrying too much, okay? To create in their head the worst scenario possible ever that's going to happen. Oh my God, if I don't get this paper in time, this is going to happen and this is going to happen and I'm going to lose the opportunity of my life, So it kind of tends to worry a little bit too much. The Pitta energy tends to have a plan and kind of not show that is feeling scared, kind of like, oh, it's all good, I have a plan, it's gonna be best maybe next time, things like that, So Pitta has more like a plan B already and responds to fear more in kind of like, what can I control? Okay, what's the next step? And the third one is Kapha. Kapha responds to fear in a very different way, which means it stays in the comfort zone. So Kapha, when there is like a change in the air or a possibility to even like, and it could be a beautiful possibility of bettering yourself, Kapha, but they're afraid. Okay, so when they're feeling afraid, they tend to say, no, I like to stay where I'm at. I don't really jump into this pool unless I kind of like know, and I've been, looking at this pool for a while, for about years, it could take months or years before they jump in this pool, like kind of like I put my toes in and see how that feels. And so generally speaking, Vata might take the whole leap and be like, I'm gonna jump off of the cliff, okay? And yeah, there is the worst possible scenario happening as well in their mind, but Vata tends to like jump to a leap of faith, but they tend to worry a lot. Pitta has a plan, and oftentimes they always have a plan B in case plan A doesn't go as planned. So very logical, and also they tend to not show. Kapha tends to not go at all and tends to stay in the comfort zone if that step is scary. So just something to think about for today's video. Let me know, what do you feel, what energy resonates with you the most at this particular time that you're watching this video, because anything can change. So right now, what resonates the most? I would love to read your comments, and please share and subscribe so you don't miss anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys, or better say ciao.